Well, hello again, and welcome back to the Skizzlecraft server. My name is RedWolf416. Thank you for joining me on this evening stream on a Wednesday night. It is about 10 p.m. Eastern Time where I am, and I am so glad you could join me here. This is a survival SMP server hosted by Skizzleman, and everybody here who plays on this is called the Hupsters. But I just wanted to thank you all for joining me, and I am looking forward to what we're about to get up to. I figured I would start us in a different location this time. We are at the main castle in Spawn, and there is the spawn tree right there. But I know I'm all the way over here, but what I realized is I need to go pick up a couple shulker boxes because we are going to be spending a lot of our time in the Nether today. We are going to be digging a tunnel out to our main base claim. And yes, I just landed in the horse trough. So let's go. Oh, that's right. I already picked up this. Set off a rocket on accident. All right, let's grab a couple shulkers. Let's put our armor back on. And let's put this up where we can't accidentally sleep in it, since we'll be in the Nether. That might have a little bit of a disastrous result if we try sleeping in the Nether. All right, door closed safely. I think we are good to go. Let's actually go back in here. It just occurred to me, let's grab another shulker of some materials. I want to do cobble. I don't know if I have any more cobble anywhere else. But for now, let's do this. So we will get another shulker box going here. Fill that with cobble. So the one thing about the tunnel that I'll be making is I want to line the outside of it before I get into the inner decorations. I'm going to line the outside of it with cobble just to make it blast proof from the ghasts, at least more so. I don't know how much of the cobble I'm going to need. Also, I'm going to need to make some slabs. Let's just go ahead and grab these as well. So I want to grab, let's see here, I believe my stone cutter is up in the farrier's basement, the farrier's workshop. Let's go grab that. Good, the door closed. Let's grab that right there, because we are going to need that to work this cobble into slabs, because I want to, after I dig the tunnel to the full length, which is more than 400 blocks, I want to be able to lay down a bunch of slabs on the floor just to make it spawn proof. It's not the final decoration that I'm doing right now. I'm just going to be digging it out and getting it to the full length that we need. So we are heading to, what is it, 565 or something like that? If I can make this thing be large enough to fly through easily and be spawn proof tonight, that would be awesome. But I know these things always take much longer. 540. I know these things always take much longer than I think they're going to. We will probably hit pockets of open air. And yeah, that'll slow things down a bit. So here's the deal. On the server, we have rules. The opening here to the tunnel, the entrance to the tunnel, has to be at Y70, as does the Nether portal down at the very end to our base claim. That has to be at Y70. And we are limited to 11 blocks wide, which is going to be a little bit narrow for what I want to do, but we'll see what it looks like. That's what I'm hoping to widen it out to. 11 blocks wide and as tall as we want it. So as I interpret that, I believe it means that provided this entrance is at 70 and the exit down there is at 70, I can go down as much as I want and I can go up as much as I want within the confines of the Nether. So I have some interesting ideas for how I want this tunnel to look. I still want to make it so that it's easy to fly in, but I also want the footpath to be a little bit of an adventure. Have it wind around a little bit or something like that, and that is why 11 wide might be problematic, but we shall see. I'm going to grab another shulker. We're not likely going to need an axe very soon. Hopefully not need a bow or a sword. We'll keep the sword out. And we will have the shield. Well, I don't want to block anybody's view, so we'll just have the shield ready to go. And we'll keep the wings on. Yeah, let's keep it wings and rockets, just in case we fall. I don't want to fall into any lava pits, but let's get going on this. I think I will come to right about here and see what that looks like. So 11 wide, I need to go 5 this way and 5 this way. We will see if we are running into anybody. I know I do have a neighbor over here. If we're going 5 out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only going to take us to here. I don't know if we're going to ever have any nether tunnels going through here. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I may actually make it 13 wide so that I can bring it back to the 11 with the cobble. Or it might be that, yeah, we'll just have to figure it out as we go. So I need 5, which conveniently, that is the reach of my pick. Right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. And then we are going to do that over here. All right. So those are good markers of how wide we're going to make this. And I think for now, we will also just start by making it 3 tall. I know we're going to be hitting some open air somewhere. Oh, wrong button. And possibly some lava. So hopefully we can get through this pretty quickly, though. Maybe not in the areas where there's basalt and blackstone, but once we hit the netherrack, we should be okay. Whoop. Ah, that's going to be fun. I was much earlier in this than I expected, but I should have known with the magma blocks there. So I do have over 400 blocks to go. Hopefully we don't run into too many slowdowns. I did forget to bring a hoe with me, but I do have my ender chest, so I do have some iron and some tools accessible to me. If we encounter any of the... Well, we are going to encounter some of the nether wart, or not nether wart, but the crimson stem and warped stem, and some of the nether wart blocks. So having a hoe on us will actually make it a lot easier. I'll get the 3rd layer in a minute. It's just easier to keep going straight forward like this. So I do need to be careful because I remember there were a couple of pitfalls. I even fell to my death at least once in here when I was digging the first tunnel. Yeah, like right there. We don't want to fall into lava. I would never get my equipment back. That is painfully slow. Let's see here. Did I... There we go. Do I not have any wood in there? Well, that's okay. I have a solution to this. We'll just make some sticks right there. And we'll make an iron hoe. Let's put one of these bows back. I don't need that one. Make sure that's my silk touch. And we'll go ahead and pick that up. All right. Now that we have an iron hoe, let's continue, shall we? That's a little bit better. Oh, I gotta watch out for those. That made the backs of my hands tingle. Got all greedy, was ready to get this shroom light, and just totally did not think to look out for holes after I had just warned myself about them. Definitely need to cover this with something better than netherrack. Now that's asking for a ball right there. Just for now. So yeah, we're gonna hug the right side of the wall while we're digging this. Hopefully we don't have any more encounters like that. That's always fun. Lava pockets. This is why I'm hugging the right side of the wall, right here. What I should have done is brought a cauldron and water with me. Well, I have the water bucket. Should have brought the cauldron. Woo! That's a little terrifying. And I should have gotten some potions of fire resistance, most likely. I have a feeling I'm going to fill these shulkers much faster than I expected. I believe that this is where I died when I was first digging the tunnel. Just walked right into a hole right there. Let's try and avoid doing that again. Yeah, if I'm going to be digging out 5 wide on either side, at least 5 wide, possibly 6. This is going to take longer than I expected. But there's my portal. That's nice. Oh, that's right. This is where we get into a soul sand valley, and it gets a little hairy in this area. So I am going to just dig out there. That's my, I guess we'll call it my bookends on my tunnel for right now. This is, that ended up going a little bit quicker than I thought it would, going that whole length. But since these are my bookends, let's come up with something that's a little bit more visually interesting. Where did I put my... Where did I put my stone cutter? Please tell me I actually remembered my stone cutter. I think I put it in here. That's right. Sometimes my brain does not want to brain. Okay, we'll go with polished blackstone. We'll do 22 of these. 11 for one end, 11 for the other end. There is one bookend, and we'll just do the other one when we get back to it. Let's just continue back this way. Do what we can here. So the wider I make this tunnel, the harder it's going to be to hug one edge and mine this quickly, but we'll see what we can do. Hey, Tapman. Just saw your comment. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Are you on right now? You're not. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to watch out for blazes in this area. What am I doing? Tapman asks what I'm doing. I am working on digging out my nether tunnel out to my main base claim. So it's going to be a bit slow going. I have a couple of lava lakes that I have to get over. And I really just don't want to be attacked by any blazes or ghasts. So I'm kind of trying to take it slow and careful. First time I was digging the first path, I died at least once just due to not watching out where I was stepping. Right here would be problematic. If I suddenly fell, I'd have a hard time switching to my rockets. I'd be able to get my wings out, but maybe not my rockets. So we'll pick up any resources we can along the way. Shroom lights, nether quartz, nether gold, ore. As I've mentioned several times before, in the main worlds, we are not allowed to mine for resources except for in our main base claims. And that is just to keep it from completely being gutted, the main world. However, we are allowed to take any resources. When we're digging our nether tunnels, we're allowed to take any resources we end up mining up through the course of digging our tunnel, but only within the confines of our tunnel path. Like this. I will eventually, when I go out far enough, I will be getting this glowstone. But I'll want to make sure that I'm not going to lose any down into the lava below. Yeah, fire resistance potions. That's a good point, Tapman. I should probably do that. I was actually mentioning that when I first got in here, that I probably should have gotten some of that. Since I'm getting back to the main nether tunnel and away from my portal, I may actually run over to the shopping district really quick and grab myself some fire resistance potions if anybody has any. I do not have any potions myself, so I'll have to see if some are available for purchase. Tapman says someone sells it. I can't remember who. That is okay. I will hopefully figure it out. It might be slow because I'm still finding my way around all the stores and stuff. I don't know where everything is, so I always have to go and look at the books. But we'll be able to find it. My biggest fear is just that they'll be out. I'm sure at some point I'll have to make another trip out to the Ender, amend my pick. We are almost back to the main tunnel. That's the wrong one. Need these. Those are my bookends. Just draw a line here. This is just so I have a visual clue as to where the 11 wide is definitely going to start. All right, let's run back down here really quick. Yeah, at this rate, I'm gonna start getting stuff spawning here before too long, so I am gonna need to put those slabs down. That man says bot warning. Also, if you want, I go in mod chats. I currently mod for Dean. All right. Well, not quite sure what that means, but thanks. Not being rude or anything like that. I'm very new to streaming, so I understand that chats need to be moderated and stuff. Luckily, I haven't really had. I mean, I have had instances of maybe some spam posts that have been on here that I haven't really cared for, and I didn't notice, but nothing that was offensive. Thank goodness. All right, let's go get some fire resist potion. In fact, let's since this one is full, let's do this. Grab another shulker. Put that in there. That in there. There are ender chests in the shopping district, so I can get my treasure chest out of there. I don't know which tunnel the shopping district is in, so I will probably just go and use the portal, the quick travel portal. Down. Oh, I see. Yeah, Tatman, I see what you're talking about. I didn't see that. Let's see here. Yeah, I gotta change screens really quick. Let's get rid of that. If I can. It's not showing my chat. All right. Well, I apologize. There is a bot up there, spam bot. I can't really get rid of it for now. Yes, Tapman, thanks for the offer. That would be very welcome. I appreciate that. Yeah. I'm not sure how to set that up. I don't know if we'll be able to get that set up in this stream. Tapman is offering to help out with chat moderation for me, which would be very helpful because I know for me when I'm streaming, it's really hard for me to keep track of the comments. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna try this here. Does that look right? I don't know if I did that right. Like I said, I'm new to streaming. All right, let's go find Potion Shop. Oh, Potion Craft, right there. We're still trying to work out this moderator thing with Tapman. We'll see here. Okay, we'll see if that worked. Does the... Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, we're working this out. I apologize to anybody else who's watching or watching this at a later time. Me and another hupster are trying to figure out chat moderation on the fly here. And what's funny is that I can't seem to get the chat to come up properly on my computer, so I am over on my tablet typing in the chat. All right, that did it. Now I got someone who can help me out. Let's check this out. Potions are in barrels. Jump, fire protection. There we go. One tooth. All right. One tooth. I'm hoping that means one diamond. All right, Tatman, since you've been so helpful and continue being helpful, help me out here. What does that mean? One tooth. Is that supposed to be one diamond? Any explanation? Just that potions are in the barrels. Witch that sells tooths. Aha! I got you now. Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's an interesting way of doing things. That makes it so that kind of like, oh man, this is gonna show how old I am, but it's kind of like when I was a kid and I would go to the video arcade, except for the video arcade had to use tokens. So you'd go to the token machine and put in like $5 and you'd get, instead of just 20 quarters for $5, you get something like 25 tokens. So you'd feel like you were getting more. One tooth. And but it also meant that once that money was spent, there was no change given, and you had to spend all those tokens there at the arcade, and they wouldn't work at other arcades either. But that kind of dates me right there. I mean, seriously. Alright, let's put all these potions in here. Eat a little bit of nom-noms and get back to digging. Well, Tatman, thank you very much for the help. Speaking of which, Tatman says they only changed that a few years ago. Yeah, I remember even like 20 years ago. I mean, I went to an arcade that was definitely more designed for grown-ups, and there you would pay your money and they would give you like a little, almost like a credit card with a magnetic strip, and that's what you put in the arcade, in the games. And that's kind of how they're running things nowadays. Similar concept, but I'm sure it's a lot cheaper than having a bunch of metal tokens. Still, the tokens were cool. I just totally missed my own tunnel. Full transparency, that happens to me when I'm driving in real life. If I start telling a story, I will miss my turn. My wife can attest to that. That in there, and let's put this here. All right, that gives us 8 minutes of a little bit of security. Let's go and make this 3 high now. Just got to watch out for lava coming down from the ceiling again. Yeah, it's much easier to get this 3rd level up here when I don't have to be watching my feet anymore. Oh, I was gonna say, Tapman. Oh, where do I live? What country? I'm in the United States. I am on the east coast of the United States. Well, not really the coast, but I am in the Eastern time zone. So it is 10:30 at night for me here. It's after all my adulting responsibilities are done, then I can take an hour, hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours to just kind of relax and play some Minecraft and hang out with some nice hupsters. Yeah, so Tapman, when we hung out and I played your drop challenge, your clutch challenge, I had mentioned to you that we should, or we could, put in a bubble vader, at least at the end when everybody's exiting, and you had said you didn't like having to make those just because of that's a little difficult and stuff like that. And I would be happy to help you with that next time you're on. And we are on together. We'll have to get some resources. I don't have any kelp and I don't have any soul sand. But as you might have seen, my nether portal is actually in a soul sand valley. And so we can source some from there probably. Hi, Scotch tape. Yeah, like I said, it's about time I was going to start getting stuff spawning in here. So it's definitely not spawn proof. Hopefully I can add some slabs soon. Yeah. No, I totally understand the Tapman. I understand not being able to do much. Like, my streaming time or my video making time is strictly like after about 9 or 9:30 on weeknights, but weekends is all family time, and that is the way I like it. I mean, it's hard to disconnect sometimes on the weekends when I'm not doing my day job. I really want to do some, hey, look at that. I really want to do some Minecraft on the weekends, but honestly, family is more important. So that's what I do. Well, so far this has been pretty uneventful, which is how I prefer it right now. I haven't decided how tall I want to make this yet. I mean, I got to make it tall enough to where it's not a hassle for anybody to fly through here. But as you can see, I've got some pretty sizable open areas here that I have to contend with. Watch out, piglin. Zombified piglin. Oh man, Tatman said he's working 6 days a week currently. That is rough. That is, I would not wish that on anyone. I currently work, let's see here. For the most part, I work 4 days, but they are 10-hour days. So I wake up at around 5:30 in the morning, and then I will work until 4:30 in the afternoon. And yeah, I'll do that Monday through Thursday. And if I can't quite hit 40 hours, then I will put in a few hours on the Friday as well, just to make up for it. Well, let's continue widening this. Sure, I still got my wings on. Still got my fire resist. How much time do I have on that? 23 seconds. Better grab another one of these. There we go. Just connected the dots. What does that mean? Alright, I remember there's some gaps down here coming up, so I gotta really be careful of this now. That's right, I found a cross tunnel at one point. let's see here. If this is my center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where I'm cutting to for now. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. This is where it... Oh. That's a problem. Oh, he despawned. Okay. There was a... I forget what they're called. The warthog-looking thing. Nope, wrong spot. I'll just say this. I'd rather not say what state I'm in, but I will say that PA is about a 3-hour drive for me. So we are relatively close, at least on a global scale, Tatman. We are relatively close to each other. At least the border of Pennsylvania is about 3-hour drive for me. There. Got an enchanted sword. I'm sure somebody would be able to figure out where I live if they tried really hard, but I'd try and keep that kind of private. So well, Tatman, I just saw your comment earlier about how you gotta go because you got work. I'm not trying to run you off or anything like that. I'm just late on responding to comments. So I hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. I appreciate you coming in and helping me out with stuff and offering to moderate my chat for me. It is extremely helpful. So thank you for that. Well, I gotta say I'm still really new to the community here on Skizzlecraft, and everybody has been so amazingly welcoming here. I've said it before, but this is my first time playing on a multiplayer server like this. I'm used to, I've played with friends before, but these are friends that I knew in real life and stuff, and it's a little bit different that way, but other than that, it's been mostly solo play for me. So this has been a really good experience so far. How's that fire resist doing? I've got 2 minutes. Now, hopefully we can make it to the other end without running into any problems. If I start opening up to lava or anything like that, I'm gonna fly back down my tunnel now that it's big enough to fly. Ooh, I just realized I'm missing out on some quartz. Get out of here, Netherrack. Yeah, I really like how everybody is living their Minecraft lives on here in alignment with really living their Minecraft lives with you know, the Skizzleman always saying be good to each other. It's really good. I really hope that after a little bit of me being on here that I have more resources to be able to, and time to be able to help others as much as they have helped me. Out of my way, please. I don't want to hit you. Oh, now I've got an Enderman in here. Alright, let's... No, we'll just leave him be. See, he despawned. Alright, see you later, Tatman. Well, fire resist is gone. Let's take care of that really quick. Uh-oh. Just occurred I don't have any gold on. Let's do that for right now. I know I have... Where is it? Where is it? I have a... Not that one. Do you get that? This one? I've got to get these labeled. All right. Blast protection. There we go. Let's just take that helmet off. Put that one on. Just pop that one in there for now. That's more like it. That's a little bit safer. I'm going to have to keep a close watch on that pickaxe. It's going to be running out before too long. There we go. Back at it. I think now that I've made it, once I finish making it 5 wide by 3 high, that is not what I meant to do. I will come back along in here and try and slab everything, at least on the floor. That way nothing can spawn in here. Yeah, eventually I'm going to end up making this tunnel so big that if I'm not slabbing it as I go, I'll end up with like ghasts in here or something like that. Nobody wants that. Hoglins. That was what I was trying to remember earlier. Man, that's like when somebody insults you and you try and come up with a comeback and you don't think of it until it's like the middle of the night and you're trying to sleep and you finally think of the perfect comeback for it. Yeah, that's what just happened there. You can just stay over there, Mr. Piglin. I mean, I'm wearing gold helmet now, so I'm not too worried about it, but I just don't want to have to hassle with him. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Man, I always try and do this at the beginning of the stream, and I always forget until about halfway through. The music we are listening to is Stream Beats by Harris Heller. It's a set of playlists on Spotify. Harris Heller releases DMCA-free music for streamers to use, which is really awesome. And the album that we are listening to, if you give me just a second, it is called Reflection. You know what I gotta do is I gotta go to the shopping district and find myself somebody who's selling beacons. That would be awesome to have along in here. How are we doing on the fire resistance? We got a little bit less than half left. Yeah, once we make this 3 high all the way down, we'll get some cobblestone slabs in there. Not gonna be pretty, but it's better than nothing. This is definitely a bit of a project doing this tunnel, especially with the way that I want to do it. I've thought about just making it so it's like a repeating wall pattern going down, but I don't know. I want something a little bit more interesting. I want something that almost tells a story. I've had thoughts of like, you know, making it more of like a gallery, like it has rooms and stuff like that, and I could, rather than in my main base, I could make the Nether tunnel have the gallery of accomplishments and stuff like that, which would be kind of neat because somebody might come down my Nether tunnel but might not actually go into my base. So that would be a fun little gimmick. It would also make the Nether tunnel a little bit more interesting. I feel like a lot of times Nether tunnels are just they're not, they're just utilitarian. Like, you don't go into a nether tunnel to actually do something other than to fast travel. So they end up getting these repeating patterns, which is fine, you know, to each their own. But I want the journey to be part of it, part of the adventure too. I don't want just the destination to be the whole point of going through the nether tunnel. So trying to make things a little bit more interesting in here, and it's gonna be a bit of a job. "42 seconds left." Interesting. You can't get more than 8 minutes is what it looks like. I thought maybe it would add up. But no. Not allowed. We'll come back through and pick a bunch of this stuff up if we can too. I don't want to leave stuff just hanging out for 5 minutes to despawn. One thing, I am resource poor. Well, I am everything poor for the most part. So resources are resources. I can use those. Kind of seal in. That is a big open area. Makes me a little bit nervous that I know that there are some places where I'm only one layer of netherrack away from like a long drop into lava. I'll come back and get that after I drop this stuff off. I want it. I'm gonna get it. Get a little bit of a roof going on in here for now. I'm planning on going up much higher than this, but this just helps me feel a little bit safer about it while it's a work in progress. That's looking a little better. Okay, let's finish carving this out. Go pick up our trash, go pick up some glowstone, and then start laying out some slabs. So laying out the slabs is actually going to take longer than mining did, so I may do it in a couple of patterns first, just to minimize the amount of spawning that I'm getting in here. I'm hearing a lava pool near me. This is the Assault Delta. Okay. Alright. Let's go collect our garbage. Ah, hit the despawn limit. That was 5 minutes. Okay, something I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna get a little bit of soul sand. I saw it here, and I know I'm gonna be digging out this portion anyway. Now we can make some bubble vaders. Unfortunately, when I put the slab, ooh, that was close. When I put the slabs in, I am going to be making it so that I probably can't fly along in here. Since I was flying, I almost went scooting out through that slot there. I don't want that. So we're just going to seal that off a little bit more. There we go. Have room? I do have room. Alright, got that out of the way. Ah. And it's got some more cooked pork chop. Yeah, I gotta get this thing all slabbed up. It sounds like the music ended, which means I have been going for more than an hour. So let me seal this hole up here. And I will get us a little bit more music going to close this out. I may not be able to do a whole lot of slabbing on this tonight. Nope. Splattered my face into the wall. Okay, let's find where we put the cobblestone. There we go. So what do we got there? That's... Well, I don't know if that's even enough to make it all the way down to one end. 400 divided by 64. It's going to be somewhere around 7 stacks? Less than 7 stacks? Just for one row? Ooh. I could be going through the cobble quite quickly. Don't need that, don't need that. Let's just fill this up. Hopefully we don't run into any hoglins while I am moving backwards. Let's see here. How can I do this quickly? Nope, not like that. What is the best method here? I think I'm just going to have to let it double up occasionally and then come back and thin it out. Ooh. Oh boy. I should have kept my bow at the ready. There we go. Oh, let's see here. That was exciting. You are one of the many reasons that I am doing this. Okay, what was I going to do? I was about ready to get some music going again. Hold on just a second, folks. Let us go to album Sunset. See how that sounds. How are we doing on time? It is after 11 o'clock my time. I need to get going to bed real soon. Woo! Woo! I did not have time to draw my bow to full length on that. Let's go back and get some fire resist going. That way, at least if I catch him on fire and he hits me, I won't also be on fire. It's just in this section here that I gotta be careful. That's where the hoglins really like to spawn. Where did you come from? It's like a party every time I finish a stack. Yeah, double party. We are almost there. That took more like 5 stacks. 5.5 stacks. We're gonna see if one stripe down the middle is enough to minimize spawns. We'll just walk slowly back, see what spawns. I'm picking up these blocks because I noticed another hole in my wall over here that I just want to patch up if I'm going to be flying around. I should have got more. That's the way it goes in Minecraft. I should have got more. Yeah, I can tell that I'm just about done for the night. I'm having a hard time thinking of things to say. You know what? I feel like living a little dangerously. Yeehaw! Gold bar and a nugget. Yeah, it's a long walk. I'm not going to walk back. This should be good enough for us to tell. Only the one guy. I think he was there from before. I'm okay with that. Those are good numbers. Well, we filled up 2 shulker chests and 2 shulker boxes, and we filled up 1/3 of another, and we used more than half of our fire resist potions. Let's load everything back up. So on Silk Touch, I think it's time to head back to the safety of our base. So I think I will make a stop across the way in the south tunnel at the Ender once more. Replenish my pick. I need to get some mending on that gold helmet too. And here, let's go through this end portal, turn around, head away from the island to the Ender. I visited this once already earlier before the stream so that I could be sure I was all mend it up. We'll just let this sit for a second. We're almost there on this. Now, my bow is an infinity bow, which means that I don't run out of arrows, but it also means that I can't put mending on it. So it is, over time, going to just wear down. Ooh, an Enderman head. It is going to wear down to nothing, and I'm not going to be able to... Well, I'd be able to repair it, but it'll just get more and more expensive. So I think eventually I am going to make a mending bow. I figure if I need an arrow taking up a slot in my inventory, I might as well make it 64 arrows. And then I can mend my bow. That's good. My other tools are good enough. I don't need to mend those. Just drop some stuff down the hole. Be careful not to have it be my... good tools or anything like that. All right. I think we are good to head back to our humble home. All right, there we go. It is nice to be back. We'll set some chests down here. Let's see here. Add another one of those there. Yeah, we'll set some chests down here so that the next time I log in, I can see what needs to be reorganized. Let's swap that helmet back out. All right. That one. Yeah, we'll keep that one like that. We'll keep that one there. Need that one. I think that's okay. We'll just take these three. They all need sorting. But that'll be for the next time I log on. All right, let's come up here. Have a nice... Oh, let's get a nice look at that tree. Well, thank you all for joining me. I had a great time on this stream here this evening. And big thanks again to Tapman for showing up and helping moderate my chat and helping me with getting some fire resistance potions. I hope you all enjoyed this. If you're watching at a later date on YouTube and you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe and hit that like button if you want to see more. It really helps, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next stream or the next video. As Skizzleman says, be good to each other. I will see you all later.